There's a kind of quiet that exists only before 6 in the morning, before the first notification of the day arrives. Lamentations chapter 3 says it plainly, "The Lord's mercies never run out. They are new every single morning, and His faithfulness holds steady no matter what yesterday looked like." Before your feet even touch the floor, before your mind starts listing everything undone, that mercy is already waiting for you. You don't have to earn this moment by rising early or performing devotion just right. You simply get to receive it. So before the day asks anything of you, let's ask something of God first. Not a hurried request, but a real conversation, the kind that reorders a heart before it ever reorders a schedule. Let's step into that stillness together now, and bring everything we're carrying straight into His presence. Father, I want to start here, simply, before I ask you for anything else today. Thank you for this morning. I didn't earn a single hour of the sleep I just had, and I certainly didn't keep my own heart beating through the night on my own strength. You did that quietly, the whole time. I'm sitting here before the rest of the house wakes up, coffee not even made yet. I just want this first stretch of time to belong to you before it belongs to my inbox, my calendar, or anyone else's expectations of me. There's a pull, some mornings, to open my eyes and immediately start comparing my house to someone else's, my body to someone else's, my bank account to someone else's. Or to start forecasting everything that could go wrong before I've even had my coffee. Lord, would you interrupt that pattern today? I don't want to hand my first thoughts over to worry or comparison. I want to hand them to you instead, on purpose, before the day has a chance to steal them. Teach me reverence this morning, not fear that makes me shrink back from you, but a holy awe instead. Let that awe make me want to walk carefully, speak honestly, and choose even when nobody but you is watching. Let it shape my small decisions before it ever has to shape the big ones. And guard my motives before they ever turn into actions I'd have to explain or apologize for later. I don't want a performance kind of faith, the kind that only shows up when a camera's rolling or someone's watching closely. I want the real thing instead, quiet obedience in empty rooms, honesty when no one would ever find out otherwise. Build that into me today, one ordinary, unremarkable choice at a time. Let my character be the same in the parking lot as it is in front of people I'm trying to impress. Even before I get to that laptop, Lord, there's this other pull. The phone sits right next to the bed, screen dark for now, but already loaded with everyone else's opinions and everyone else's bad news from overnight. Some mornings I reach for it before I've even said good morning to you. Help me change that order today. Let this conversation with you come before the scrolling, not after it. I don't want the first voice I hear each day to belong to an algorithm deciding what I should be worried about, before I've even brushed my teeth. Lord, before I open my laptop or walk into whatever room my work happens in today, I bring that work to you directly. Colossians reminds me that whatever I do, I'm meant to do it as though I'm working for you, not just for a paycheck or someone's approval. So let that be true of me today, even in the parts of my job nobody will ever review, notice, or thank me for. Give me diligence in the tasks that feel small and unglamorous, the follow-up email, the load of laundry, the meeting nobody wanted to schedule. Give me honesty in the moments where cutting a corner would be easier and nobody would ever catch it. I don't want a resume that looks impressive on paper while my actual character stays thin underneath it. If I'm exhausted, teach me the difference between diligence and grinding myself down until I have nothing left for the people who live in my own house. And if I'm carrying more responsibility than I used to, keep me humble in it. Let me lead the way I'd want to be led myself. For anyone reading this who's sending out application after application right now, waiting on a callback that hasn't come, Lord, I ask you to open a door for them today. Not because they've proven themselves enough. They already have. It's because you see the effort even when an employer never replies. Give me eyes to notice the coworker who's clearly struggling under a workload nobody's checked on. Or the new person on the team who still doesn't know whether it's safe to ask a question out loud. Let me be someone who makes a hard day slightly easier for another person, instead of just clearing my own list and calling it a win. And Lord, would you walk into my home today, into the actual rooms where I live? The kitchen table where conversations get tense. The doorway where I sometimes rush past someone I love without really seeing them. Where there's resentment sitting quietly under the surface, drain it out of me before it turns into something sharper. Where pride wants to win an argument more than it wants to understand a person, soften that in me today. Give me patience to actually listen before I respond, instead of building my defense while the other person is still talking. And when I'm wrong, and I probably will be, at some point today, give me the humility to say so plainly. No excuse tacked onto the end that quietly cancels the apology out. Let my home be a place where people feel safer at the end of the day than they did at the start of it. If I'm married, remind me my spouse isn't a project to fix or a roommate to manage. My spouse is a person I promise to actually cherish, even on the days that promise feels harder to keep. If I'm raising children, let me discipline out of love instead of frustration, and let me apologize to them just as quickly as I'd want them to apologize to me. If I'm the one waiting on a marriage that hasn't happened yet, or grieving one that ended, meet me in that too. Don't let me measure my worth by a relationship status. You've never once measured it that way. Jesus, I want to bring you something quieter now, underneath everything I just prayed. Isaiah says you tend your flock like a shepherd. You gather the weary ones close, carry the tired ones near your chest, and gently lead the ones still figuring out how to walk. I need that kind of shepherding today, not just direction from a distance, but actual nearness. I'm tired of managing what other people expect of me, the version of myself I perform for coworkers, for extended family, for people I barely even know online. I'm setting that down right now. I don't want to keep building my identity out of everyone else's approval. I want to know who I actually am when nobody's watching and nothing's being measured or compared. There's a kind of tiredness I don't always admit to, Lord, the kind that hides behind a full calendar and a decent job title. I can look productive on the outside and still feel hollow underneath it. If that's true for me today, I'm not going to pretend it isn't. I'm bringing it straight to you instead of burying it under one more task on the list. Some nights my mind won't stop running through conversations that already happened, replaying what I should have said differently. Or rehearsing ones that haven't happened yet and might not ever come. Lord, quiet that noise. I don't need to solve every future problem tonight, at 2 a.m, lying in the dark by myself. And I don't need to have my healing finished on your timeline squeezed into mine. Some of what's tender in me is going to take longer than a single morning prayer to fully mend, and that's all right. I'm not going to rush myself past something you're still gently working on. And there are old wounds I haven't fully let you near. A friendship that ended badly. A rejection I still replay some nights. A betrayal that taught me to keep people at arm's length ever since. I don't want to carry that as armor for the rest of my life. Would you send whatever it is that heals? Call it restoring water, call it your spirit moving quietly through the places I've kept closed off. Let it reach those exact spots. Give me strength to choose what's right over what's easy right now, in this actual season, not some hypothetical future version of me who somehow has it more together than I do. And when I walk through valleys, grief that doesn't announce itself in advance, a diagnosis that changes everything overnight, a decision I can't see the end of, remind me of one thing. A valley isn't proof you've left. A shadow only exists because there's light somewhere nearby. I don't need to see the whole path today. I just need to know you're the one actually walking it with me, step by step. So today, however this day unfolds, however hard a conversation gets or how heavy a meeting feels by 3 p.m, I'm choosing to believe I'm not walking through it alone. Isaiah says you keep in perfect peace the mind that stays fixed on you, because it trusts you completely. So today, before the phone rings with news I didn't expect, before a plan shifts without asking my permission, I'm deciding in advance. My peace is not going to be handed over to whatever happens next. Bad news, when it comes, you don't get to run my morning. You might show up, you might even be real, but you don't get final say over my heart. I decree that panic has no seat at my table today. Fear, you don't get to make my decisions for me. I'm choosing wisdom instead of a rushed reaction, and I'm choosing to bring hard news to God before I bring it anywhere else. Lord, deliver me from the kind of self-absorbed living that only asks what's in it for me. Open my eyes today to somebody who needs exactly what I have, a few minutes of real attention, a meal I could easily stretch to share. Proverbs says the one who brings blessing to others ends up enriched himself, like water flowing out and somehow filling the giver back up too. Let that be true of me today, not as a strategy, just as who I actually am becoming. About money, I'm bringing that fear into the light instead of carrying it silently. Whatever bill is due, whatever number in an account is making my stomach tighten this week, I refuse to let it push me into a decision I'd be ashamed of later. No shortcuts that require lying. No opportunity that only works if I bend the truth to get it. I declare that scarcity does not get to write my ethics for me today or any day. Give me contentment that isn't passive, the kind that still budgets carefully, still works hard, still plans wisely. But don't let it spiral into anxiety every time a number is smaller than I'd like it to be. And it's not just money I need help stewarding, Lord, it's time. Let me use today wisely instead of scrolling it away and wondering later where the hours went. Give me the discipline to rest when it's actually time to rest. Give me the discipline to work when it's actually time to work, instead of blurring the two together until I'm never fully present for either one. Give me patience, too, in the small friction points nobody remembers by dinner, the slow line at the store, the driver who cuts me off, the meeting that runs 20 minutes long. Let me hold on to peace in those little moments as stubbornly as I'd hold on to it in the big ones. You have fed me every day up to this one. I have never actually gone without what I truly needed, even on the days it felt that way in the moment. I'm choosing to remember that instead of rehearsing worst-case scenarios before they've happened. And about health, mine, or someone I love who's waiting on results, waiting on a diagnosis, waiting on a callback from a doctor's office. I bring that waiting to you directly, right now. You already know the outcome before the test does. I'm asking for peace in the waiting room, not just relief after the answer finally arrives. Here's what I'm declaring plainly over this day: my circumstances do not get final authority over my peace. My bank account does not get final authority over my generosity. My fear does not get final authority over my choices. God does. That's decided, and I'm not revisiting it every time something shifts. Show me one specific way to give today, even something small, even something nobody will ever find out I did. Let generosity become instinct in me, not a decision I have to talk myself into every single time it comes up. I can look back and count the times you've come through before. The bill that somehow got covered. The job that opened up right when I needed it. The unexpected kindness from someone I barely knew. I want to remember those specific moments today instead of only remembering the times I was afraid. Numbers has this old blessing that priests used to speak over people, generation after generation. The Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord make his face shine on you and be gracious to you. The Lord lift up his face toward you and give you peace. I want to receive that over myself this morning, not as a nice phrase I've heard before, but as something true and specific for today. Let your light reach the cold parts of me, the places gone a little numb from disappointment, or from trying too hard to keep everyone happy. I'm tired of shaping myself around other people's approval. Free me from that today. Let me be steady in who I am, whether someone likes it or not, whether it earns me anything or costs me something. And then let that light move through me into whatever room I walk into next. If it's tense, let me bring calm instead of adding to the noise. If someone's having a hard day, let me actually notice instead of walking past distracted. I want the way I treat people to genuinely look like you, not just on my best days, but on the ordinary Tuesday kind of days too. Guard my words specifically, Lord, the ones I say out loud and the ones I type into a comment box thinking they don't count as much. Let me be someone who builds people up in a conversation, not someone who quietly tears them down the second they leave the room. And when I catch myself measuring my life against someone else's curated version of theirs, remind me I'm only ever seeing their highlight reel, never their whole story. Whatever you've given me, patience, forgiveness, a little extra this month, a piece I didn't manufacture myself, I don't want to hold on to it like it's mine to keep forever. Let it move through me to somebody else, like a river instead of a reservoir. And Lord, when someone succeeds at something I wanted for myself, gets the promotion, the recognition, the win I was quietly hoping for, give me one thing. Give me the grace to actually mean it when I say I'm happy for them. Let my reaction in traffic this afternoon show it. Let my tone with a family member who tests my patience show it. Let my response to a stranger having a rough day show it too. Those small, unwatched moments are where my faith actually shows up. That's the kind of faith I want. Not the kind that's loud in the rooms where people are watching, but the kind that's real in the small rooms where nobody ever will. Lord, I want to widen this out now, past just me. There are people praying this same kind of prayer this morning, all over, in kitchens and cars and quiet corners before anyone else in the house wakes up. We bring all of us to you together right now. For the ones among us who are running on empty, physically exhausted, emotionally depleted, stretched thinner than they'd ever admit to anyone out loud, give us real rest. Not just a nap, but the kind that gets down into a person's bones. For the ones grieving someone they didn't expect to lose this year, meet us right there in that grief. Don't rush us through it or make us feel behind schedule for still hurting. For the ones searching for honest work, submitting application after application into what feels like total silence, open a door for us. Let someone finally say yes. For the ones holding a household together that feels like it's coming apart at the seams, tension at the dinner table, distance between people who used to be close, bring real peace. Bring it back into those rooms. For the ones quietly caring for a parent, a spouse, or a child with needs nobody else sees up close, give us strength that doesn't run out by mid-afternoon. Give us someone to actually lean on too. For the ones on the road today, keep us safe. And for the ones whose hearts have quietly wandered from you, whether they'd say that out loud or not, draw us back gently, without shame attached to it. For the students staring down an exam or a deadline that feels bigger than it probably is, calm their minds and steady their focus. For the ones living far from family, in a new city or a new season that still feels unfamiliar, remind them they're not forgotten just because they're far away. For the ones fighting to stay clean, to stay sober, to walk away from something that's had a grip on them for a long time, give them strength for today. Just today, one day at a time. And for the ones who feel like they've failed at that too many times to try again, remind them today can still be the day it turns. Teach us to act. For the ones fighting to stay clean, to stay sober, to walk away from something that's had a grip on them for a long time, give them strength for today. Just today, one day at a time. And for the ones who feel like they've failed at that too many times to try again, remind them today can still be the day it turns. Teach us to actually notice each other's weight instead of walking past it politely. Let us be the kind of people who ask a real question and then wait for the real answer. We don't want to just consume this moment and move on with our day completely unaffected by it. Let it actually change how we treat the very next person we talk to this morning. So we lift each other up right now, by name in our own hearts if not out loud, and we trust you to meet every single one of us exactly where we are today. So here at the end of this, Lord, I'm letting go of my grip on today. I don't actually know what's coming, which conversations will be easy and which ones will cost me something, which plans will hold and which ones will change without warning. I'm handing all of it to you on purpose, instead of white-knuckling my way through it like I have to control every outcome myself. I'm not asking for an easy day. I'm asking for a day that's actually ordered rightly, where I'm humble instead of defensive, useful instead of self-focused, obedient even in the small unnoticed choices nobody will ever applaud me for. I don't know exactly what you're doing in this season of my life. Some of it makes sense looking backward. Some of it still doesn't, and I'm learning to be okay with that gap instead of demanding an explanation before I'll trust you. You've never once needed my full understanding in order to be faithful to me. So today I'm choosing to walk forward without all the answers, trusting the character of the one who's leading more than I trust my own ability to map out every step in advance. That's not resignation. That's rest. Let my life today point to ward you quietly, in ways I probably won't even notice myself doing. That quiet I felt at the very start of this, before 6 in the morning, before anything demanded anything of me, doesn't have to end here. I don't have to leave it behind now that the prayer is ending. Your mercy that was new when I woke up is still new right now, and it'll still be new tomorrow, no matter how today actually goes. I'm carrying that with me into whatever this day holds. In Jesus' name, amen. If this prayer met you somewhere real this morning, I'd love for you to stay connected here at Powerful Grace Prayer. We come back to this same quiet, together, every single morning. Hit subscribe and turn on notifications so tomorrow's prayer finds you before the day does. If something specific is weighing on you right now, drop it in the comments below. This community actually prays over those requests, you're not just typing into the void. And if you know someone who needs exactly this kind of morning today, send them this video. It might be the very thing that reaches them right when they need it. See you tomorrow morning.